Hi guys, so the component that we're doing for today is going to be practice and application. My name is Taylor.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Brittany.
So our first feature that we're going to be covering over practice and application is providing hands-on materials and manipulatives for students to practice using new content. 3 ways we can do this are teaching students how to use manipulatives. Most students probably aren't used to using manipulatives. Of course, they want to roll the die, they want to build a tower with rods, they probably will be tempted to play with manipulatives as opposed to listening to you. However, this shows us 2 things. First, they're really drawn to manipulatives, and secondly, they need to be shown how to use manipulatives properly. You should let your students play first. Giving students 3 minutes to build something with rods before you ask them to build something specific is a good strategy. Being specific about expectations. Students need to know the expectations of the classroom. If you don't want them to roll the die off the table, you can boost the chances of this happening by telling students, in order to use the dice, you have to keep the dice on the table. I'm giving you a small plastic bowl for you to roll them in.
So how we're going to be showing this in our class is going to be by reading a story called Goldilocks, and then the students are given props so that they can hold them up whenever those characters are going to be mentioned in the story. So we're going to start off with Goldilocks.
Once upon a time, 3 bears lived in a nice little house in a great forest. There was the father bear, the mother bear, and the baby bear. They had each a bed to sleep in, a chair to sit on, and spoon for eating milk or honey, which was their favorite food. One morning, the 3 bears resolved on taking a walk before breakfast, but before they went out, they poured their warm milk into their basins, that it might get cold by the time they came back. When the milk was poured out, the 3 bears set out for a walk. Mr. and Mrs. Bear walked arm in arm, and Baby ran by their side. "What a fine day it is," growled Mr. Bear. "What a fine day it is," said Mrs. Bear. "What a fine day," squeaked Little Bear. And so it was. Now there lived in the same forest a sweet little girl who was called Goldilocks. She was the woodman's daughter. And
Okay. For our second component, we're looking at providing hands-on activities for students to apply content and language to in the classroom. So by giving students a maximum number of opportunities to apply their knowledge is vital to their learning. Applying knowledge, after all, is what we expect our students to be able to do. There are 3 different ways we can stimulate that language practice.
The first is students talking with students is a great way to encourage language usage and content practice. Telling students to share something related to the content using a specific language is a great way to encourage language practice. The point is that students have a chance to speak to other students using the language.
And then the second is sharing specific language. So giving students specific language to use when interacting with the content and their peers is an effective means of making sure that they're giving language to work through. This could be word banks, language shells, and other lists of languages that students should be encouraged to use.
And then the third is modeling and then stepping out of the way. If we aren't careful, we can take opportunities away from our students. We have to make sure we step out of the way so that students will step on. We have to model how to use the language, but then we have to get out of the way to make sure that the students are the ones to get the most practice.
So there's lots of different ways to show this, whether it's think, pair, shares, or just group discussion, but we are modeling readers' theaters.
So the reader's theater that we are doing today is called Tacky the Penguin. There once lived a penguin.
His home was a nice icy land he shared with his companions.
His companions were named Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect.
The penguin's name was Tacky. Tacky was an odd bird.
Every day, Godly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect greeted each other politely.
Hi! Tacky greeted them with a hearty slap and a loud, "What's happening?"
Goodly, lovely, neatly, angel, and perfect always marched.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tacky always marched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 0, 1.5, 0.
So the third feature for our component is using activities that integrate all language skills. That includes writing, reading, listening, speaking. So there are 3 ways to make this happen.
The first is to look for information gaps. These are activities that integrate all 4 domains into one task. Each person has a portion of the answer, and together then they have them all. This objective is to share information with those around you.
Another way is just using group tasks, which are any activity with students speaking and listening as well as reading and writing. So an example could be like one student interviewing another one on a topic. They could write down their peers' responses and opinions, and then they could share them with other people.
The last idea is a jigsaw. Similar to an informational gap, each person has one piece of the puzzle, and then together they have the whole puzzle. For example, you can read a different article on the same subject, summarize it, and then share it with their peers. To show that, we are using Think, Pair, Share.
So I'm going to be the teacher and start. So guys, I know we just read the book Goldilocks, and I want you guys to think just for a moment to yourselves, keep all of your words in your head. We're going to think about the book that we just read, what you liked about it, what maybe you didn't like so much about it. So just think to yourselves really quick, okay? Okay, so now I want you to pair up with a partner, and then you are going to talk about what you really liked about the book or what you didn't like, or anything that you want to talk about with the book.
Hey, what did you like about the book?
I liked that there were bears in it, and it was a family. What did you like?
I liked how there were bears too, because bears are my favorite animal to see at the zoo.
Really? I love bears because my dog looks like a bear.
And I like bears because they eat honey, and I like honey.
Me too.
Great job doing personal connection, guys. That was really great. Okay, now in just a minute here, if you guys just want to finish up talking, we're going to share it all with the class. And scene.
Scene.
So all of these features are important to applying practice and application in the classroom. You want to make sure that you use all of them together so that the students are really getting exactly what they need, because without any one of these, they might be missing out. They might not be understanding. Thanks for watching our
SIOP
component.
Okay.
See you next time.